Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to ROP, One of Play podcast, where we discuss everything about football, especially the Premiership EPL. Today, unfortunately, we have just two of the panel available.
It's a special Christmas episode.
Yeah, special one. I guess some people also ran away because they were running away from the smoke. They ran away from the smoke of the past weekend, but it's all good. I'm here with Sheon T. Sheon T, how you doing?
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm surviving. My joy from the new manager bounce has been cut short quite
I warned you.
abruptly.
I warned you that City
Um,
is not a good judge.
no, it wasn't sitting there, right? And I guess we're jumping into it, but like that's kind of what makes that's part of what makes it so unfortunate, or so difficult to take. What the game against Bournemouth, because even when we lost to Nottingham Forest, even when we lost to Arsenal, I was still feeling fairly positive because of how we played. Right, and I remember coming on here to say that, like, yeah, that I still feel confident even after those losses because I felt like we dominated, quote unquote. But this game against Bournemouth, in the Amorim regime, even though it's a loss, it's the first game where not only did we lose, the whole thing just kind of seemed like a mess, and it affected my confidence. Not to talk of like the players, but it's affected my confidence in the manager basically and in the project essentially because it's been 10/10 so far despite the results, but I don't think the loss to Bournemouth and the manner of the loss, the way we lost 3-0, I don't think it was a necessary lesson because I assume that you expect to lose some games, but I don't think this one was necessary on the journey essentially.
I mean, I did warn you that don't use. I know you said bad result, but I told you not to use the Man City result as a reflection of United. Like Man City was in the mood of giving of gift. Everybody is beating Man City right now. Like literally, nobody fears them right now. And
Yeah,
Man
but like
City,
that's the point I'm making now, right? That like I didn't use Man City as a yardstick. That before the Man City game, even games that we lost to, and I give the example of Arsenal and to Nottingham
but your
Forest.
game against Arsenal, unfortunately, yes, you had the ball, but to me, it was in your half. That's what you did with the ball.
Yes, no, but like we're talking about how I felt about Amorim and the way things have played out so far. And what I'm saying is that like I've been confident even or despite losses.
Result.
I've been confident even against this after the loss against Arsenal, after the loss against Nottingham Forest. I came on here and said I still feel confident about where we're going despite those losses. This loss against Bournemouth for me was different. Like it was different in many ways, right? Number one, um, I understand in theory giving Malasia some game time. Right, I get it. It's kind of like a catch 2022. He's been out for 18 months, and the only way that he can actually get some playing time is if you give him some playing time.
True.
But at the same time, giving him some playing time is a massive risk because he's been out for 18 months. Even though the only way for him to improve is to play after being out for 18 months. So it's kind of like a chicken or the egg catch 22 situation there, right? And then Dalo has been a weak link, I think, throughout the season, even though he runs around and has a lot of energy. But he's a weak link. And
And your
then
most reliable player as well. To don't forget that he's
I
Man's
mean,
most reliable player.
reliable in terms of fitness, yes,
Yes.
but output on the ball, he's not there yet, especially in this type of system that is heavily reliant on his position as the wing back, basically to be an outlet. Then in attack, I don't like Bruno playing in that left number 10. I don't like him having to run down the left wing channel and being one on one with defenders or with centre backs. I think that's a waste of Bruno's talents if he has to be running down the flank, receiving the ball, and trying to make something happen there. I think he's better playing either next to Ugarte or puts him on the bench, right? So I
Captain,
think
your captain.
um, yeah, no, I think a lot of the issues basically that exist at United kind of came to a head this weekend. They kind of like all metastasized like in one match where everything that is poor and wrong and bad about this team kind of just all crystallized in one perfect game. and the new manager, whatever, wasn't able to take effect. But like, I blame him because I don't know what he expected from Xerxes playing as the number nine up front, right? I think obviously we could have been better in possession, and Kobe Mainu, I think, spent a lot of time trying to guide ball. Like he's caught up in trying like that stuff that before the ball even gets to him, he's already trying to guide it. Which I think is kind of like a bit of naivete given his age. So we'll forgive that. But we could have been better in possession, and I think Amorim's decision making cost us. As far as like from my perspective, cost us this game. So yeah, I don't like Man United's position on the table. As far as I'm concerned, we don't
You
need
guys
a
are
new.
13th.
We're 13th now, yeah, and that 13th position is becoming more and more solidified every week that goes on. Basically, like because before it was 13th, and we're 4 points behind fourth position or something stupid like that. But every week we keep dropping points, basically in the Premier League, and so we're calcifying into that position at the bottom half of the table, which isn't great, right? And I don't care what anybody says. As far as I'm concerned, the whole premise of sacking the manager is that the manager, somebody else can do better with the
Better
team
than exactly.
with that the manager has. So I don't need a new style of play and a new system to be losing 3-0 at home to Bournemouth. Like, I'm sorry, that's just not what I signed up for. And the idea that like this season is a write off basically, and we need to start again next year, to me also just
That's
doesn't make
nonsense.
sense. Doesn't make sense because there's no world in which I'm calling out, like, I know this YouTube universe is really big, right? But I'm calling out like
Yeah.
Flex and KG and all these United channels now that are trying to spin this narrative that basically the whole team is shit, right? Like the whole United team is shit, and we
The
need
club has
to
bought them over.
like the whole team is shit, and we need to sign a whole new set of players, basically. In order to move forward, which as far as I'm concerned is just so stupid. One, it's never going to happen. Like we're not going to sign 10 players in the summer because we're not Chelsea, right? We're just not that club. We're not going to do it. Secondly, it's not true. Like when did Martinez become shit or delete or Mazraoui? All the players that played against Bournemouth, I think
Yeah.
six of them were new signings from Ten Hag,
Yeah.
and I think three of them came last summer. So
Yeah.
Ugarte came in the summer, Xerxes came in the summer, Mazraoui came in the summer. Martinez has only been here for how many years? 2 years. So has 3 years
Martinez
Martinez.
3 years.
Martinez 3 years, Onana 2 years, Kobe Mainu on the new graduate 2 years, Amad Diallo in the first team properly probably only 2 years, even though he has been a United player for a while, but he's been alone. First team only 2 years, so Zoxy came. So like where every basically we're supposed to just sack all of them, like players that have been here that less for 2 years. The recommendation of serious fans online is that we need to get rid of all these players and bring in a new manager. That's just nonsense. Like, I mean, the idea
Come on.
that the idea that Bournemouth has better players than, because that's the narrative that's starting to settle in, right? The new realistic position from Man United fans is to say, well, actually, this United squad is really a mid-table team, right? That's the new narrative that's starting to set in,
Trying to-
that
Yeah.
we're really just a mid-table team with mid-table level players, and the only way we can improve is to sack basically all the players. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's
At all.
bullshit. I mean, I know you're a biased Arsenal fan, but like from my perspective,
Ah,
like are the United players that bad?
just like you said, I agree with you. They're not bad because at the end of the day, most of these players, the fans were hyping them on when they bought them. So what has changed within a month and a half that the new manager came
Let's
in?
assume the
Also,
fans are wrong now, right? Because like I mean, it's one thing to want to stick it to United fans, to overzealous United fans. So let's assume the fans don't know what they're saying. From your own assessments, are the United players that bad? Um,
no, I would say no because I would take. I won't say like you bought the lead from Bayern Munich. Bayern, the lead is a top player. Mazraoui is a top player. What's his name? Bruno Fernandes is a top player. Plays. I don't know why he plays better for Portugal than for England, but that's a different conversation. Kobe Mino, like you said, he's an upcoming star. He plays well. Gate is a baller. Ahmad is your star boy. Then you have Garnacho, you have Rashford, you have your C-Tech Haaland. Hoyland. So to me, United squad is it's good. I think what's happened United is that
Good enough
the
for
core.
what though?
I believe your squad is good enough to challenge for top four. I don't want to put in championship title race now, but I think top four. I believe the squad you have right now should be able to compete for top four. When you look at Nottingham Forest right now is in top. I think Nottingham Forest is fourth on the league table. Chelsea that nobody expected is second on the table. So I expect United squad with this squad of players you have to be in at least minimum. Right now maybe six. If you were six, that's fine. Brighton being ahead of you is it's sacrilegious, given the fact that they had remember Brighton just had a mini review. They bought like
Yeah.
six, seven players with a new manager that is way like he's freaking young, the youngest manager in the whole of Europe, I think. Where again, Bournemouth that just beat you. Bournemouth is like probably 6-2. They're ahead of you. Fulham is ahead of you. Where again, Newcastle is ahead of you. So that's really bad. That's a bad sign for United fans. And I'm also in agreement with you that all these fans are saying, "Oh, right up the season." That's a wrong thing to say because guess what? Amorim came in with having at least you guys has Amorim, I believe, has like 20, at least up to 20 games left, if not more. So you can't just write up the season. And Amorim has been here since the beginning of November. So that's how he just didn't coach you guys for the first 2 months of the season, which is September and October.
There's just so many
Um,
contradictory arguments like flying around, right? But like the
yeah,
best one I've heard from the opposing side for this particular conversation, the best argument I've heard is that actually, like, so like the lead that you mentioned, Mazraoui that you mentioned, that the United team is full of good squad players, right? So these are
mhm.
good players, the list, but they are good squad players. None of them should be starting 11
And that's a lie
mainstays
because that's
for
a lie. So
for
who?
for for a top club, right? But that they would make a fantastic squad essentially, and we have a starting 11 of good squad players as opposed to like a strong starting 11 and then a strong supporting cast of players. To that you say
But
what?
that's a bunch of hogwash, and we know it. Mazraoui, before he left Bayern, he wasn't really starting all the time, but he had good game time in Bayern. Before that, he was in Ajax. He had a good reputation. Delete was the top one of the top defenders in Europe for a couple of seasons. So I mean, how is he going? Who is? Are you saying Maguire is better than him? Are they saying Maguire is better than him?
No, but
Are
that's
they saying
that's that's going to the point about the quality, the overall quality of the United squad, right? That
yeah?
like
But to me, Delete is an upgrade on both of them.
right,
The only
but
thing I just give Delete maybe they are still adjusting to Premier League because he's just coming in because Premier League is fast paced and they're not
no, but
used to all
what
that.
if Delete is a 5/10 player and he's better than our 1/10 players, but he's still an average player, just an improvement on the shit that we had
So
in the
this is
past.
where I expect Martinez, being the experienced one, to kind of guide him through because that's why as even Saliba needed Gabriel. A solid. That's why partnership is important. You need your centre back. Just the way Van Dijk is there for Konate. Konate is the youngster trying to learn the ropes. Van Dijk is the stable head. The same thing I expect Martinez. He's been in United for like 3 years and he has been your best defender in quotes. So United fans say. So he's supposed to be the one, helping Delete now, being that he's still new in the league. But he's
Um,
shit at the moment as well.
yeah, he's in a bad run of form. I don't believe any of these arguments. So I'm just trying to steel man. Trying to put the best argument basically of the other side forward, but I don't agree with any of them either. I
They're
don't
trying to
believe
give
that
they're trying to give Amorim a pass. That's what I just see. He's trying to give Amorim a pass. So no
it's
matter the
true.
result, they blame the players. That's what I see it as. No matter the result, blame the players.
It's 100% true. I think one of the worst things that happened to football in general was the rise of YouTube fan channels. Even though that's kind of what we are as well.
So
But it just makes for you're just clouding up the airwaves with nonsense, right? And so like the idea basically is that, like, as I was saying, this squad is just full of shit players basically from top to bottom.
bench players
Um,
basically.
yeah, and I'm glad you brought up Gabriel and Saliba because there was no guarantee that Gabriel or Saliba were going to turn into superstars.
Exactly.
There was absolutely no guarantee that any of that was going to happen. Even Odegaard itself, that is now, pretty much like untouchable or unplayable. At first, it was like 1 or 2 seasons when he first came from Madrid that it was like his first season. It was like, okay, this is just a nice to have this thing, but is this really like a person? Declan Rice would easily have been like any of the other 100 million signings that we did not turn out to be so great. Like, right? Let's say it wasn't Enzo Maresca that is coaching Chelsea. Let's say they give Poch another year. What would we be saying about Caicedo and Enzo
Right.
Fernandez or Cole Palmer right now? Right? So like, I mean, there's no. This idea that like, oh, there's this set of players that you can buy from somewhere that are guaranteed to be
Yeah, to be
that
a
are
good
guaranteed
player.
to be top
It's
top
only
two.
it's only if you are getting the best of the best. That's really guaranteed. Like you're getting the Messis, and that's only
Even if you're getting the best of the best, is best of the best plus good coach, right? Because you can bring
true.
plus good coach, plus good environments, plus good timing, right? Because
That's true.
one
That's true.
person's when Diego Forlan came to play for Man U under Fergie, he looked like a pipe, Forlan. But a couple of years later in Atletico, probably the best striker in the world that the world has ever seen.
Even Villarreal.
Um,
I just feel he
um,
wasn't cut out for Premiership, and that's not. It's not bad.
it's not a bad thing, right? So like this the like it's one thing if people were saying, oh, these guys are not a good fit
The system.
for the system, right? But just the whole the narrative that's starting to just set in. I just don't understand why fans think it's appropriate, like with the large platforms that they have. Why they
It's
think,
because it's the same thing I feel I have with Arsenal fans. They are kind of picking the coach right now over the team or over the club. So that's the same thing Arsenal fans are having with Ateta. A lot of fans are ready to die on Ateta's head. They forget that Arsenal is going to be there. Arteta is going to leave one day. What if he wakes up tomorrow and say, "Oh, I'm leaving Arsenal"? What happened? You followed Arsenal up? No. But a lot of fans are so fixated on Arteta that even when they could see that he's making mistakes, they still find one excuse or the other to say, "Oh, it's the players or the referee cause." That's why you hear excuse, "Oh, the referee cheated us," or this that. That's why they bring up useless excuses like that, forgetting that the coach is also making errors. His tactics are also the issues we are having. It's the same thing I see we have with United now. So they are creating that. A lot of fans, if you hear them, they say, "Oh, I love Amorim. I know we have a good coach. It's Amorim I wanted." So because of their love for Amorim now, they are not going to blame him. So rather,
yeah,
the easy targets are the players and the management, the United board,
it's unfortunate now,
rather than the
right?
coach.
Because people are now like now there's such a thing as a professional football fan, like which is what like a lot of these guys on YouTube are. They are professional fans. That's their job is to talk about Arsenal or talk about Man
Yeah,
United.
and they have so much
Um,
following, so a lot of idiots just follow them.
like
Unfortunately,
people follow them, right? And I hope it never happens to us. But like a lot of people mistake their entertainment factor for quality of analysis, right? People follow you largely because you're entertaining, and they
true.
like they like what you hear. People now take that to mean, oh, that means my opinions on football basically are sacrosanct.
Yeah,
Right, and yeah. So I wish Amorim the best. I think he needs to learn quick, but I just don't accept that. I just don't accept it at all that Nottingham Forest have a better team than us, or that Aston
exactly.
Villa have a better team than us,
Or Fulham,
or
or
Fulham have a
Bournemouth,
better team, or Bournemouth. Any of these teams have better teams than us. I just think that's complete total bullshit. Like it's a complete it's nonsense like entirely.
completely.
And the idea that like we need to spend another 2 years basically, right,
That's what I'm
rebuilding
saying. So you see, that's already creating an excuse for the coach there, right there. That's it.
rebuilding the squad, right? As if it's a science, like as if the whole premise of people, because lots of people wanted to chew my head off all the time I spent defending Ten Hag last season. Lots of people wanted to chew my head off, pointing to Postecoglou at Spurs, pointing to Thomas Frank at Brentford, pointing to this manager Hansi Flick was the next thing since sliced bread. Barca, that they're actually in a bunch of shit right
Yeah,
now.
them and Man
Um,
City, right?
but like the whole narrative was that like there are other managers that are going to be able to get better out of this squad than Ten Hag because Ten Hag is a bad manager. Okay, we brought a good manager in, right? He needs to teach them. It's one thing to say, oh, the players need some time to adapt to the system, to the style of play. It's another thing to now just declare the whole squad shit because I think, like you said, it's a coping mechanism, right? People don't they don't want to blame the manager
Yeah,
at all because they've boxed themselves into
yeah.
into
Let's
a position. Um, so now you have to start blaming the squad. But I mean, you brought up Arteta and Arsenal, and I think lots of people, me included, expected the game against Crystal Palace to be kind of difficult, but it wasn't difficult at all. Arsenal
well,
smoked them.
and like I said, one thing that helped Arsenal is the early goal. I think Arsenal scored the first at that 6 minutes, and that's one thing about if Arsenal can score you early, most times we always tend to win the game because now the team cannot box themselves in.
Yeah, I mean, Arsenal surprised me for what it's worth, basically with the amount of goals that they were able to score, and the fact that they beat Crystal Palace. I think it makes me, I guess, like conscious of the fact that, as some people have said, it is going to be a long season, and we're just in December right now, so there's still, just in December with about 15 or 16 game weeks gone. So there's still a shit ton of football basically to play. Um, so I think while we're quick to clown Arsenal, and many Arsenal fans have revised the expectations basically based on how the season is going. I think what we saw from them against Crystal Palace, and as the season is heating up, there's still a lot of football to be played, and there's still a lot of room for Arteta and Arsenal to fix some of the challenges that existed. Um, but yeah, no, it makes for a very tight, very competitive title race, quote unquote. Because whether or not they want to admit it, Arsenal is a party basically to the title race. In addition to what I will add as two other contenders, Chelsea and Liverpool. But yeah, did the All Star game give you any extra confidence, Johnny Boy?
It didn't actually. I expected them to beat Palace because I don't think we would have gone 3 games in the league without winning, especially against teams that were expected to win. And like I said, Palace. I don't. I think I checked record against Palace. Arsenal's record against Palace is superb. So I don't think I was in any danger of that, of losing or having, especially as we won
Well, even
against
though
them
even though
midweek.
the game was tight, even though the FA Cup game was tight.
Well, the truth that first half, yes, but second half we completely outplayed them. Second half we took the game to them. When they brought in Odegaard and I think it was who was it? They brought him to play. I think it was Odegaard and who did they bring? Saliba. Yeah, Odegaard and Saliba came in and the game changed. So I expected that from Arsenal. My only surprise is obviously Jesus scoring again,
Hat
which
trick.
brings it, which brings to my next point that I just hope it's not because I know Arsenal very well. Jesus scoring now, people start giving, oh, we don't need a striker no more, we don't need an attacker no more. That's the next thing you're hearing. Now let's see what's going to happen because unfortunately I know we've heard the news. Saka is
No,
going to be out for
I
6 to 8
mean,
weeks.
so for starters, like Jesus just scored a hat trick. I think he scored in the game before that also.
No, he scored hat trick in the cup game and they scored two at the weekend,
Okay,
so 5 goals in 2 games
so
instead of
clearly,
three
so
games.
clearly he's not of form, and clearly he needs to get back into the team. Like
He's on
as
form, but like Jesus is the last person you're going to trust because even he himself has said it that he's not known for it. Like he's not a goal scorer. So why would I take such a player serious?
No, 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 no. But like, I'm saying, like, as a manager, I think part of your job, right, is knowing, for example, that with Trossard, if he's on a hot streak, you need to bring Trossard in to games frequently or
True.
give him a start or something. But like, Jesus is on fire now, and like you
Yeah,
said,
I expect him
Saka
to
is
start our
injured.
next game. I expect him to start our next game because, but the problem with Ateta does that shit a lot. He's like Pep. Sometimes they like to touch stuff that are not broken. I don't think he's going to bench Jesus, especially now that Saka is injured. But if Saka was not injured, there's a possibility he might actually drop Jesus because he has done it with Trossard before. Trossard was on a hot streak, and then all of a sudden he benched him. So it's not against the realm of possibility. He did it to Havertz. Havertz was scoring as a striker last season. All of a sudden against Villa, the game we needed that cost us the title, as far as I'm concerned, he took Havertz from the striking position and took him back to midfield. So he's known for those erratic behaviors. So I wouldn't put it past him. But for now, I expect Jesus to keep playing because even Sterling is also injured at the moment. So
Yeah, I mean
we are,
that
we are,
that
we are
that would
going down
make
with
sense.
numbers. We are going down in numbers. So I don't think he has any option than to play Jesus as a striker. So Jesus has to keep on playing.
Mm. Okay. Okay. Let's just talk about the other two. Um,
Let's talk about City.
um, City. The only conversation that I'm really interested in for City is, I guess, at what point do the wheels finally just like come off, right? Can they really just keep like losing games? Right? If they've lost and now they're playing Everton. I guess okay. I guess this is the one game that they can definitely win. They're playing Everton at
But
home.
right now, I don't think Everton is coming up two good results: a draw against Arsenal and a draw against Chelsea, and they didn't concede both games. And you know one thing you know about Everton, where you can trust them is that they're going to be defensively sound.
Mm,
So the key to beating a team like Everton is scoring them within the first 10 minutes. That was the way United were able to defeat Everton. You guys scored them early quick goal. Once you do that, it changes their gameplay now. They can't just sit back. So now Everton going to City now, they would have seen City knowing that oh these guys, all we need to do is compact, hit them on the break because City is going to give you chances.
mm.
That's the truth of City is giving away chances at the moment like water. So it's now your job as a team to take your chances.
Let's use
Even
this.
sometimes the score lines do not even reflect the chances. Like for instance, even the Nottingham Forest game they won, Nottingham Forest actually had chances to actually win the game because I remember before City scored their second goal, Chris Wood actually had a 1-1 that he missed. If he scores that, that's 1-1 right there. That's a totally different game. So even that, so that's going to me. If I'm Everton, I'm not going to be scared because other small things now show that you shouldn't be scared of
Let's
City.
use the
As in,
opportunity to do a prediction now. So, what's your prediction for City Everton?
I go for City draw
Score draw 0-0.
1-1 1-1.
Yeah, I think City would finally get the W. So I'll go 2-1. But I wanted us to just use because I think we can do it tight like 30. But I wanted us to just talk about first of all the reluctant title contenders Chelsea. Um, right, like they look solid.
They drew.
They
They drew.
drew, but I think it was a hard fought.
And I said it,
Um,
that Everton always gives them trouble. For some reason, Everton and Chelsea is always a tight one,
yeah,
especially at Goodison Park.
with Sanchez being the man of the match for Chelsea. Um, but I mean, they look like they seem like they're in good form. Basically, right now, as of right now, they are essentially untouchable, or unplayable. As far as it concerns, like everybody in the league below them. Chelsea versus Fulham, Boxing Day. Chelsea at home.
Chelsea's home, right?
Yeah,
I go with Chelsea 2-1.
yeah. I'll go with Chelsea 3-1. Are you writing this or?
Let me write it. Let me write it. So the first game we predicted was
Man City Everton. I think you predicted a draw 1-1. I predicted a Man City victory 2-1.
and then now Chelsea.
Not Chelsea Fulham. Um,
I go with 2-1 Chelsea.
I go with 2-1 Chelsea as well. Um, and then the league leaders, the easily the best team in the league right
Yo,
now.
what a game of football we had.
Yeah,
I couldn't even finish the game because I was on my way to church. So I couldn't finish it, but it was an entertaining game.
yeah.
Liverpool
Liverpool
are the
vs
real deal.
Spurs
They are the
6-3.
real deal.
Yeah, no, they seem like it.
They are the real deal.
They seem like it, and I mean, I just think is this even buttresses my points, right? Because a player like
Exactly.
like
This,
like
this this is where coaching comes into play. Look at Gravenberch. We all thought he was a useless player a couple of months ago.
it's not even Gravenberg
And what
about the highlights, but yes, that is true. Gravenberg was seen as like you see the right guy,
yeah.
you see the right
And all of a
guy.
sudden the coach has found a new position for him. He's a six now. And he's not normally a six, but he's a six right now. And he's playing the role so excellently well.
Yeah, no, they're different type of sixes now, right? Everybody, he's not the type of six like Ugarte or Kante or something, but he's like a Busquets type ball player.
Yeah.
And it's even somebody like Suboslai, right? Like that was signed by Klopp.
True.
And he's a fucking baller. Like Suboslai is a baller, is a goal scorer. Their entire team is just stacked with ballers from top to
Yeah.
bottom.
He has made
Um,
Trent a little bit good defensively as well now.
yeah, no. And they face Leicester.
Oh
Um,
my god, it's too
yeah,
much.
so I think
I mean
Rude.
that's road of coming off Wolves. The new manager bounce helped Wolves last
Mm,
weekend.
mm-mm.
They got a good spanking from Wolves, and I
Yeah,
expect them to get one from Liverpool again. So I go
same
with
as well.
Liverpool 3-0 Liverpool.
Yeah, I think Liverpool are going to be comfortable. Um, but I'll go with 2-0. 2-0 Liverpool, 2-0. Um, Arsenal plays on Friday at home against Ipswich. I think you guys will be comfortable. I expect that to be but you guys are conceding goals, yeah, unfortunately. Um, but a comfortable 3-1. 3-1 for Arsenal. Um,
I go with Ipswich. I go with 3-0 Ipswich. Arsenal to win
um,
3-0.
then Wolves are home to United.
Ah,
I don't even know what to expect from this United team, honestly. Um,
I go with Wolverhampton 2-1.
uh, I don't know what to expect from this team. Or
New manager bounce. Wolverhampton at home.
if we
Buoyant
lose,
after their victory away.
it
Expect
will
them
be a
to do so.
catastrophe. Our Wolves are traditionally a bogey team for us. But I guess I have to keep the faith. So I'll go with United. I'll go with United to win 3-1. Um,
3 United.
let's do Newcastle Aston Villa.
That's a nice one.
Newcastle at home. Um, I think.
I go with Newcastle 2-1. No, Newcastle 3-2.
Okay. Um, yeah, Isak is on fire.
Yeah.
But so is Duran and Rogers. So I think Newcastle should be too much for them. I'll go Newcastle 2-1 as well. Um, Nottingham Forest versus Spurs.
Mm.
Ange wants to kill somebody. Said told the media, I told you guys before. They keep asking me stupid questions.
Yeah.
I'm
The
not
pressure is
changing.
getting to him.
I'm not changing my style of play for anybody.
The pressure is
Um,
getting to
and it's so funny that like no Espirito, who many people will say failed woefully at
the
Spurs.
Spurs. But then he's been vindicated now by doing so well at Nottingham Forest, and coupled with the fact that both two high-profile coaches in Mourinho and Conte both kind of didn't do so well in sports. So
Yeah,
I
but I
think
think
everybody's seen
he
that problem is
failed
not with
like
him.
quite catastrophic. Like his own failure was like at least like with Mourinho they got to one final
Yeah,
one time.
yeah, his only that he was sacked I think after like 2-3 months. So
He was sacked like they looked like a disaster. But at Forest, he's playing very well. Forest looks like they're flying high. Um, I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be a very good game.
Forest are very
Um,
tough at home as well too. I'm
Forest are
going to
tough at
I know
home,
Forest is gonna win
but I
two
don't think
two
anybody
one.
can stop Spurs from scoring at this point in
Two.
time.
I go two
Um,
ones. Nottingham Forest.
I'll go 2-2. Forest and Spurs 2-2. Okay, Brighton Brentford. Brighton's at home. Um,
Brentford are useless away from home.
yeah, I'll go with Brighton to win 2-1.
Brighton 3-1.
Okay. Last but not least, okay, actually two more. Southampton West Ham. I'll
Southampton
go
also has a
with
new manager as well too.
yeah. Um, yeah, they're both really shitty teams, honestly. Um, okay, Southampton. I'll go with Southampton to win. Wait, yes, I'll go with Southampton
Nah,
to
I go with
win.
West Ham. I go West Ham 2-1.
I go with Southampton to actually no, actually I go with the draw 1-1. 1-1 draw. All right, Bournemouth Crystal Palace.
Bournemouth another
I'll
surprise
go with
team of the season
Bournemouth.
too.
Um, I'll go with Bournemouth to win 2-1.
Palace are a little bit better away from home. I go with draw 1-1.
Okay. Okay. So let's see now. I mean, this is the heat of the Premier League season. Things are going to settle.
Yes, now the men are going to be separating from the boys.
Yeah,
This is the period you start to see separation.
yeah.
So let's see who who has the balls. Are Chelsea pretenders or actually genuine contenders? Are Arsenal going to be serious? Are
Hmm.
United going to wake up from their slumber and start kicking up? Is City slump still going to continue, or they're going to break out of it? We shall see this period.
Shall see. Shall see.
Wonderful pictures for the Boxing Day. I like them.
Shall see. Okay, take us away.
There you have it, guys. These fixtures for on Thursday, Boxing Day. I will give you our predictions. So let's hear your predictions. You think United have bad players, or do you think it's just the players getting adapted to the system, or is Amorim that's the problem? And also, do you think Arsenal are going to struggle now, given the fact that they are going to be without Saka for like 6 to 8 weeks ahead, and also Raheem Sterling, though he doesn't play, but he was a squad player, he's also out injured. Do you think Arsenal are going to cope well without him? Chelsea, are they going to keep up pace with Liverpool? Because Liverpool are running away with the title, it seems. Are they going to continue their run this week? So send us your predictions and keep on liking and sharing. And have yourself a wonderful Christmas, everybody. Enjoy your Christmas. Don't let the clubs or your teams ruin your Christmas for you.
It's too
Enjoy,
late.
enjoy your Christmas with your family, and hopefully see you guys again next week.
Enjoy, guys.
Bye, guys.